Ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make. Over the past 4 or 5 days, I've been slow dripping these community polls over on my YouTube channel. If you saw any of them and you clicked and you voted, thank you, because whether you knew you were going to be doing this or not, you have contributed to today's video. Those were not just for fun, because today, with all the data that we've collected, we are going to definitively prove, well, not today, soon, we are soon going to definitively prove the greatest hero in Flesh and Blood. This is gonna be pretty fun because we're gonna put all these heroes in a bracket and we're gonna let them battle to the death, one by one, hero by hero, battle by battle, until only one is left standing. And then we have to ask the question, well, why are you not playing that hero at every major event going forward? They're clearly the best hero in the game. Duh, I mean, it makes sense. The numbers don't lie, they speak for themselves. So, we're gonna get started, but before we get started, I have to do something very special. I have to do something very exciting. Bear with me. Ladies and gentlemen, we made a number become another number. And not only that, we made a 4-digit number become a 5-digit number. And I am so incredibly thankful. This was a very humbling experience for me watching this number go up. It was very surreal because I never expected that number to be as high as it is right now. I honestly, back when I started this YouTube channel 6 years ago, I told myself that that number wasn't possible. You shouldn't have it in your mind because you'll set yourself up for disappointment. You should aim for something that's more achievable. And I was wrong, and I'm thankful that I was, because of all of you choosing to press a single red button. It makes a huge difference in my life, and I'm so thankful. And I want to hang out with you, and I want to celebrate, and I want to give you things, and I want to answer your questions, and I want to talk about doing YouTube for 6.5 years now, and answer any question you may have, and just be with you. I want to just be. Let's just hang out. So we're going to do that on Friday at 8 p.m. Central, probably after my kids go to bed. We're going to hang out, and we're going to open packs. We're going to open this really cool Avengers vs. X-Men Dice Masters, which is the very first set ever released of this game that started this YouTube channel that I love. We're going to open that, which is incredibly exciting. I've been having that. I've just been waiting. And then we're going to open an Alpha Welcome to Wraith box, which is also very exciting. Generously passed on to me to distribute to everyone, thankfully, by my good buddy Jim over at Fab TCG Cards. We're going to open those as well as some other product. It's going to be great, and I hope that you join me because I'm going to give away stuff on the stream. All you got to do is show up and hang out with me, and I really want to spend time with you. So that's on Friday. Feel free to join me. But that leads into today's topic and the entirety of this craziness that is these votes for the hero bracket. This hero bracket is going to be really fun, and it's actually something that we're going to continue on the Celebration 10,000 subscriber stream on Friday. We're going to do a little bit more voting just for fun, just to be together. I mean, it's going to be good. So let's break down the preliminary results before we talk about the next round. Now that you know what we're doing and what we're voting for, let's begin. So Viserai was the first one entering into this tournament of heroes, picking up the win against Briar, which is very interesting. And I think it's kind of funny. I would not have known which way this would have gone. I would have probably leaned towards picking Viserai myself if I wanted to pick who would win in this. I would have thought Viserai myself. That being said, I think it's pretty clear at a 58 to 42% with almost 1,000 votes. I think it's pretty clear that Viserai picks up the win here. I think maybe just people didn't like how powerful Briar was for a bit there, and so they have some negative feelings towards the old Briar, but Viserai just steady good, just good and steady the whole time. So that wins him his first round and enters him into the tournament. And then we have the closest matchup that I would have never expected. This was insanely close, with the most votes, if I remember correctly. This also had the most votes, with over 1,000 votes cast. And look how close it is. Bravo ekes out the win with 54% of the vote to Oldhim, the old man himself. 46% doesn't quite cut it. I honestly would have expected this to be much more lopsided. And Bravo just wasn't able to cut, I guess, that far ahead. But Bravo Showstopper here is picking up the win against Oldham, who I thought would have a little bit more hate, but perhaps in Classic Constructed, which is the picture that I used. All of these heroes are, the picture I used was the Classic Constructed version of that hero. Perhaps in that format, he's a little less hated on compared to like in Blitz or something like that. But nevertheless, he goes by the wayside, and Bravo Showstopper is representing the Guardians. I do also want to point out that I pitted all of the heroes against their class counterparts. So here, as you see, Bravo is pitted against Oldham. Before that, we had Briar pitted against Viserai. And we'll talk about Shane in a little bit, but let's keep going. Prism versus Dromai blew me away. I thought Prism was going to run away with it. I thought, Prism was just that waifu of the game, but it turns out Dromai is just where it's at right now. Dromai's cool. I think maybe people are just sick of Prism. Maybe they're just tired of like blue aura to start the game and then just losing to like Merciful Retribution. Maybe Prism is just, it's time for Prism to take a break for a little bit. Nevertheless, with almost 1,000 votes cast, Dromai wins fairly convincingly at 20%, just picking it up with a 60% win. That's pretty cool. So Dromai will also be in this bracket. Bolton or Dorinthia? I am so sorry, Bolton. I am so sorry. This is just how it is, though. It's just how it is. Bolton just doesn't have anywhere near the ability to cut it compared to Dorinthia. Dorinthia was 73% of the vote. That's huge. This was the biggest lopsided victory of all of the votes. And I think it's just because Bolton and the charge mechanic is just... It just can't quite cut it in this meta. In this game right now, it just doesn't have the legs. Charge maybe needs an overhaul, or maybe needs like a huge old buff or something like that for Bolton to kind of come out of the woodwork. And he's got some cool stuff, but unfortunately, Dorinthia just says, hey, you ever heard of Reprise? Have you ever heard of Reprise? Reprise is a really good keyword. That's what happens there. Next up is Heartbreaker for me. Because I love both of these heroes. And Icelander versus Kano. Icelander just takes it very convincingly. Kano's really cool. Well, Icelander's technically cool because she's ice. But Kano's really awesome. And I love Kano. But I can totally see why people vote for Icelander, because she is incredibly fun to play. And I think underpowered right now. And perhaps as more people learn her and, figure her out, she'll get to that sort of like that feeling of Kano that you have when you sit down to play against Kano, where you're like, I could die at any moment. That's kind of cool. I don't know if Icelander will ever get there, but definitely winning the battle here between the Wizards. Then we have Kano. Sorry, not Kano. I just got distracted by Icelander still being in the background. Look, I totally messed up that transition. I should have put Fi in the background. It's Katsu versus Fi, and Fi picks up the win fairly convincingly. Again, I think this isn't a good example of like the hero that just does it better, just taking over. It's kind of like Dorinthia versus Bolton, right? This is a very similar kind of scenario here, and Fi just convincingly knocks it out of the park. Katsu, always a little underrated, never quite the bride, always the bridesmaid. And here again, not able to enter into the Battle of Champions, the hero battle, the bracket of heroes. Not going to make it because it's going to be Fi as the ninja going forward. And then we have this one, which was fun. This was the last one I posted on YouTube because I just didn't want to flood your feeds too much, and I'd already posted several back to back. This is still going, and I did check this like as of an hour ago, and I think Reinar actually pulled ahead a little bit more, which is interesting. But Reinar currently ahead, and I will call this probably on Friday and finalize the bracket. But Reinar currently sitting further ahead by maybe 10 to 12% now over Levia, which has recently had a surge of popularity and may continue to do so as well going forward. But right now, Reinar is still the OG, still takes the spot, and will be the brute in the battle going forward, unless something crazy happens in the next like day or two, which is, I don't know, you never know, could happen. And then I posted two over on Twitter. And this is one that I'm not going to lie, I literally had no idea how this was going to turn out. I wasn't sure if Azalea and the rabid Azalea fan base was going to latch onto this and just vote like crazy for Azalea, or if Lexi was just going to run away. And it turns out Lexi ran away with it. Perhaps Azalea is just not as well liked, I guess. Maybe just not as like the hero that everyone gravitates towards anymore if you're playing for that off meta thing. Maybe there's other heroes now that kind of usurp that spot. But I feel like Azalea was the darling of the community for so long simply because you would just go for Azalea in like meme conversations, and maybe people are just over it. They're over the meme and they're just, Lexi's just the way that we want to go now. It's very interesting. But Lexi does take the spot again unless something crazy happens. But I did take this screenshot with a timer, as you can see there. 30 minutes were left, and I don't think there was any way this was going to pivot the other way. And then finally, hey, I was wrong. I forgot. This was the one that was way more Dash versus Starfo. I forgot about this. I forgot this was at the end, and I forgot it was so lopsided. This was the most lopsided. Forget that Bolton one. This one's insane. People don't like Starvo. They say goodbye to Starvo, and Dash was the clear winner here. Now, I do want to point this out. There's only 57 votes. So if you really like Starvo, leave a comment down below. Tell me I got it wrong. Maybe I'll have to open a poll up later, and we can prove it, one way or the other. But I'm pretty sure it got worse after I took this screenshot. I'm pretty sure the margin got even wider. And that leads me to the last part of this. We are going to compile these end results probably on Friday. I'll probably do this on Friday before the stream. And then we'll talk about it while we open packs. And then we'll set the bracket for the next round, where it cuts from, I think it's going to cut from 9 or 8, something like that, all the way down to 4 and then to 2, and you're going to get to chart this out with me, and we're going to have a good time figuring out who in the world is the best hero in the game. But in order to kick things off, I need your help right now. You need to decide this matchup, because there's 3 Rune Blades in Classic Constructed, and one of these Rune Blades has to go. One of them has to enter, so that we have a full gamut of classes represented. So, does Chain win, or does Viserai win? Chain or Viserai? That's what you need to do down in the comments right now. You have to vote Chain or Viserai. I will count the votes myself manually, because I'm dedicated. I'm committed to this. This is not just something that I'm doing because it's funny and I'm not sure if people are going to watch this video or not. This is for real, and people are really gonna, they're gonna decide everything. You should play the hero that wins this. So you need to vote down in the comments below. Let me know which one you prefer. If you enjoy this, if you want to see how this plays out, oh man, let me know that as well, because I think this is going to be really fun. Again, thank you so much. This, I'm blown away. I am blown away, and I'm very humbled. So if you'd like to join me and hang out on Friday, feel free to do that, 8 p.m. Central. I have the stream already ready. It's already set up. You can go hang out in the lobby. As always, thanks for watching.